Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nolo Time. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world.
What's up? What's good? What's poppin', Obed? Good to be with you, man.
And with us, for the first time, Mr. TJ Hansley.
Happy to join you guys. I'm
L-
a huge fan. This is a huge honor.
Lord of the Rings enthusiast and overall nice guy. Also, that is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
I
Forgot to say his
love you
name.
just throw that in there.
I'll just throw it. Yeah. How are
That's
you
nice.
guys?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's I'm so glad we're here, man. It's one of those times that we're gonna take some special time obviously to go through our special topics. TJ's here because we're gonna talk about Lord of the Rings amongst some other really cool stuff. And it's sad because that show's done. I miss it already.
Uh,
Friday is, that would have been tomorrow, right? We're recording this on a Thursday night, so
It'll be back.
man.
I'm gonna go into hibernation for the next year and a half, however long it takes.
Probably
I
about
think
a
they said
year,
like
right?
18 months. They're filming it right now, so might have to catch me a flight to New Zealand, get a little sneak peek or something.
Yeah. I want to say probably a year. A year's safe. It's not
Yeah,
like it's Amazon. It's
yeah.
not like The Witcher, right? We have to wait like 2 years for this other, second season or third season, whatever is coming up. Yeah,
As long
it's
as it's
crazy.
quality over quantity, right? Like it's good.
That's very true. Because
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. And to make it straight, we'll dispense with the pleasantries. We'll jump right in it. Because other than Lord of the Rings, we want to talk about Andor, and we also have a bunch of other stuff that we want to talk to you guys about. So, um, again, honestly, it's really hard for me to figure out why this show got a lot of hate, and I get it, right? That is different, and they are taking their liberties, right? Because they are right. This is not a fate like the even with the movies, right? They movies take their liberties with the books. So does this show, but to a more I guess extensive manner. But overall, problem that I have with a lot of the criticism that the show got, it was because it's like, oh, it's woke and this thing and black elf and the Dominican elf and the black hobbit or whatever. I mean, I don't. None of that mattered to me, right? The story was good. A lot of people complained about Galadriel. I liked her. I just don't know, right? And a lot of people, I can see some of the flakiness on the writing, right? Um, but overall, I really, really enjoyed it quite a bit. So I'm really happy that TJ's here because he's a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and we just wanted to talk about, overall impressions of the show. I think that overall it was good. Um, a lot of people might have expected it to be better, rightfully so. Right? It's Lord of the Rings, but I think that for a first season where you're introducing the characters, you're just gonna have to wait for the character development to happen, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I was impressed. I was impressed. So yeah, you guys, what do you guys have to say about it?
Yeah, I want to hear TJ's reactions to this because, like, it's the end now. Like, now we can
yeah.
speak fully looking from hindsight,
Also
right?
spoilers.
Before we were right, spoilers, guys. It's we're gonna get into it, and like, I really want to hear TJ's perspective on like this the culmination of everything that's happened. We spent, I feel like, a lot of time with this show, Obed, like making predictions,
Yeah.
like, and who is
Who's
the
who and
stranger, who is Sauron, who, like, all these different questions. Now we have answers. Now we can talk about it really in depth. So this is what makes it really fun to get into, not just from the episode, but the season as a whole. But TJ, what's your impressions now that we're done with it, man?
Yeah, I am super sad. Like it's this is what I look forward to every week. I'm like, me and Shelby were like, how many days are we away? And like every day we were like, all right, we got to get home and we got to watch this. And growing up, Lord of the Rings was my favorite. I always loved Star Wars, but Lord of the Rings was always my favorite franchise. And so going when Amazon first announced the series, to be honest, I was really worried. And after the first trailer, I was extremely worried.
me
I was
too.
like,
Yeah.
oh no. I'm like, they just spent all their money on CGI. And what made Lord of the Rings so good is the storytelling. And like Tolkien storytelling, his like the world building is phenomenal. So like, I think Peter Jackson did a good job of it. And I was like, Amazon's. I was like, they're just gonna try to buy the IP and make money off of it, and I was blown away. Like the bar was set high by the movies, and this far exceeded any expectations I had. Like it's, I think the casting is perfect. I think
Yeah, I think
everybody,
overall, yeah.
yeah, like they play really well off each other. When it first started, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried by the Gladriel when she was battling the troll, I believe it was at the very beginning, and it felt like I was like, okay, this fighting style is a little different. Our art style, like it was like more 300 esque, like very dramatic. I'm like, I don't know exactly how I feel about this, but then it went up from there. Like it was just, and her character is, I think especially the first few episodes, she really carried the entire show for the first few episodes. And then some of the other characters started to come along I feel like to that level. Yeah. But I love it. Like I'm so ready for the next.
I think this show was the opposite of She-Hulk, right? Where She-Hulk started up here and kind of like went downhill.
Yeah.
For me, with this show was the opposite, where it started kind of like, okay, I mean, this is okay, right? And then it just, which each episode, you know, it just kept getting better, in my opinion, right? Again, I mean, we can have a difference in opinions. You may think this show's trash. A lot of people do. I just don't think that's accurate. I just don't think that. But I mean, of course, we can agree to disagree when it comes to the overall quality of the writing and acting and all that. Yeah, some of the acting is stilted, but go back and watch, the original Lord of the Rings. It is, a little all over the place if you watch it. It's like Star Wars, right? It's like it's not.
And these are not super seasoned. A lot of the actors are like on purpose. They went with like some of the people that like it's they're going to get better with time, and they're already like.
I agree.
I would say some of the characters that can maybe use a little bit of work is maybe I would say Theo. Like his character a little bit was
a kid.
It's just kid acting is always going to be a bit tough. It's
going to be weird. Yeah.
But
there's
I'm interested to see what they do with his character for sure. There's definitely something special going on, especially after the Sauron sword being stabbed. Like it's like seemed like it was calling to him in some way. And
Theo for Theoden, man, he's the ancestor. He's got to be.
I can see that.
Right? He's got to
be. Definitely see that.
So again, going into spoilers. So how do you feel about the Sauron reveal or the not reveal, the first one? How do you feel how they did that? Also, the women, right? Who were they? They're clearly wraiths, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So they were terrifying. I don't usually watch like scary stuff, and I was like, one of them like went down like on their back and like started walking like I don't even know, like The Conjuring or some sort of terrifying thing, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm watching this way too late at night. I'm scared. I'm gonna have nightmares about this. And then when she was like picking up Gandalf or the stranger, he's picking him up and like throwing him. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, who are these people? And they seem a little OP, but I don't know what they are. So I guess we'll figure it out. But
yeah, they were wraiths. I mean, because the stranger exposed them, right? Like their true form, right? And they do look like the raid, like the ring raids when Frodo puts the ring on, right?
That's true.
So they kind of have like
where do those powers come from though? Because like they were like, I don't know, like I feel like they seemed like they had some sort of like wizard ability of some sort. And when the wraiths were essentially like deformed men and stuff like.
Well, I mean the Bane wraith is called the Witch King, right? So there has to be some magic involved, and maybe old like Morgoth groupies or something.
True.
Like because he was like Morgoth's influence was over Middle Earth was pretty strong. So
that's very true.
There must have been camps here and there and hiding, waiting for like the right time to come out.
I think that was kind of the point of it too, right? Was like they, even though they answered a lot, they also left a lot of questions, and I think that's what keeps it interesting for future seasons.
Yeah.
And clearly, that's what the stranger Gandalf, come on, is saying that, he's what he's gonna do, right? Well, like they ended with him saying, like, I'm gonna go to Rune, and that's where we know these people, the wraith people, this is where they come from. They came from that side. There's a lot of breakdown on maps on where that species is from. That's exactly where she's going to. So just like traditional Gandalf, he always leaves the battle to go do his research and comes back with some information, right?
Right.
And I think that's clearly what they're going to show us is, well, whatever happened where these people came from, where they were zealots to some extent, that they were these groups of radicals, the spirituals that were on this assignment, so strongly looking to reveal Sauron. And it was a great little look at this hand, cool. Don't look at this hand, right? Like, so you get in the beginning, like they want you, and I'm sitting there and watch this, and I'm like, I didn't like the second I was like, no. But I was like, but if it is him, I wouldn't have been mad. I would have been like, oh, that's interesting. And it doesn't make sense at first, but I'm sure they'll have answers. Yeah. But it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you're even vaguely familiar or familiar in passing with like Tolkien lore, you know that that's not. It's like, oh, that's not it.
Right? It wouldn't have made sense. I mean, yes, to some extent, and they're getting into this more. Sauron is a shapeshifter, and that's why you even see that these beings, right, these wraiths, they shapeshift, right? It shows that
to the moth and escape, like
moth,
the main one,
or Nori, right? Like looks like Nori at first to draw
that was
him out,
creepy too,
and then it turns into this woman. So clearly that's something that we'll probably see with Sauron's abilities later on.
Yeah, at first I thought that they were gonna Horcrux like Sauron, like they were gonna split him in different people, right? And then the ring made him whole again, right? That's what I thought it was going, but it was totally going in a different direction. But then we get the Halbrand reveal, which I still don't think he's full on Sauron. He's someone else.
Really?
Like, to me, he's probably the Witch King, or he's probably the Mouth, but I don't think that he's Sauron, right?
Interesting.
I did find like the connection really interesting, where it's like, oh yeah, you're the king of the Southlands. Well, he wasn't, but then he technically was, right? Well, because he turned the Southlands into Mordor, and
but his lineage, the king of the Southlands, isn't just something you just do. It's a part of a lineage. That lineage ended. So my only assumption is, but I actually think Theo. I think Theo may be the king of the Southlands.
Well, I think that technically the Southlands don't exist anymore. That's Mordor.
No, right.
He went back to actually claim the Southlands for himself, right? Because it was basically on.
But that's what Sauron would do.
So.
Yeah.
So I just don't buy that. Like he was pretty strong, right? He got into Galadriel's head, that right, and
that was crazy.
And that was pretty crazy, but yeah.
But he does check the boxes. I mean, like the Celebrimbor thing, right? Like the being the one who's able to have this knowledge, played dumb for a while, but had this knowledge of how to really bind and create the rings, and being one who would deceive Celebrimbor into making this thing, right? Like she checks that box, right? The one being that he's a man that stands above others checks that box too, right? I mean, I think you look at his abilities. He says the thing, I've had many names in my time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past that it isn't him. I think that he took on a form of.
Okay.
Remember, he said, I
agree.
I found this thing. He said, right, and he said, I'm not lying to you. I told you that I found, which he wasn't lying. I do. What if he took the form of the dead man?
One thing that's interesting is he never lied. He never lied the entire time.
He did not lie. Yeah.
He said whenever they find out my past, they will cast me aside and all this stuff. And I was like, he really didn't lie the entire show.
He really did.
It
was right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, it was just hard to believe, because I was blown away whenever he got into, because I know there was a lot of rumors that were really strong. I thought it was going to be the Elf King. What's his name?
Durin?
Yeah, I 100%. The way he was sitting off Galadriel, right whenever the dark was starting to take over.
No, I'm sorry. Durin is the
Gil-galad.
Yeah.
Yes, Gil-galad. I 100% thought he was Sauron. Because
that's how they depict him in lore.
Yeah.
Right? Like long black hair with a crown, and
The same crown. If you see the deleted scene from the original, it was like I think it was Return of the King, and it shows Sauron. It's like a light bursting. It might have been the Fellowship of the Ring, but it's like he's bursting into light. If you see like the deleted scene, I don't know how true it was, whatever, but it literally looks just like him. And I was like, whoa, it has the same crown. I'm like, he's the same person. And the way he sends them off right whenever he needs them to be sent off, basically. Like it's convenient. I was like, I still think he might have some sort of corruption.
If that's the form that he takes to give the rings to like the kings of men, right? And fools them. That's how he tricks them into, hey, this is a good thing coming from the elves, right?
Right. So, I think that's what he knows that the elves are his biggest foes. I think that's why he wanted Galadriel right away, because if anyone's going to stand in his way, it's going to be this person who's extremely powerful. And there's plenty of Tolkien lore you can get into that shows that Galadriel is extremely powerful.
Oh yeah,
one of the most powerful characters that was created in this world. So it would make sense to get her as an ally first. But now that he knows that she's not, going into future seasons, he's going to know that's the first people that are going to be standing in his way. I wouldn't be surprised to your point that we do see something going on with the king, whether that's taking the form of the king, whether that's another side, because clearly he did not have faith in Galadriel. He did not want them to do this at first. He's tried to send her out into retirement land. He was not a fan of her.
He was determined to keep right when she got just where Sauron was supposed to be. Like literally right when she gets there, they're like, oh, you have to turn around. We were told not to do it. I was like, this is the most suspicious thing ever. Like
it's extremely obvious.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it was like so obvious that like I was very caught off guard. And I wonder, maybe Sauron is like you said, maybe he is split. And
I think so.
He is controlling. I feel like they're both, there's going to be multiple, like Sauron's going to be controlling multiple pieces. It's not just going to be one kind of normal human.
Yeah, totally. One thing that this show did, especially the last episode for me, it kind of Clone Wars, like what the Clone Wars show did to the prequels, right? This show, especially this last episode, did for me for the Hobbit movies, especially the last Hobbit movie.
Yeah,
when Gandalf is in the cage, Radagast is useless.
Yes.
Saruman is freaking the heck out because Sauron showed up, and Galadriel comes out, and she's the one that actually scares Sauron away.
Right?
And then it's like, oh, okay, he's going back to that, the confrontation within her head, and she was able to actually, resist the call and all that, and like she's totally like OP, right? And that's why she goes and hides in the forest, because like I'm too OP for these people. So, so that and I kind of like wanted to watch that last Hobbit movie again, just because that sequence is really really good. I mean, the Hobbit movies they have their own set of problems, right? I think that side story of Gandalf getting trapped by the necromancer and the witch king showing up and the eye showing up, I think that's the best part of the entire movie, and even if it's like not a primary thing. I mean, I do think that the elf thing and and Smaug and all that, it's good, but it just kind of like veers off too much, and it's like it's not straight to the point. It's like there's too much dilly-dallying and go run around, and but that part where that sequence and I think that side plot for the wizards was really good. So
yeah. There's a lot of things the show accomplished, but like to your point, now in hindsight, it also, to me, really like humanized Sauron in a way that's like not just like, oh, it's just this dark creature thing, whatever. That's just good and bad, good guy, bad guy. But that's fun and all. We like good guy, bad guy, fight each other, everybody wins, cool. But it does add an extra layer of depth when you have a better understanding of who you're coming against. And I actually like another Star Wars reference, right? Is like to me, it reminded me a lot of like what the prequels did for the original trilogy, where like when you understood Anakin's story, you understood Darth Vader. And I felt that same thing with Sauron, where like we see Sauron as a human, and he truly believes he's doing the right thing. And we get that especially in this episode. Yes. And now when we see him in the future things, we're thinking of a different perspective.
Yeah, so they kind of give him the Thanos thing where Thanos thought he was doing the right thing, right?
So. Best villains think they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Magneto, Thanos.
Yeah. I liked that a lot. It made making a villain, like, I know we've discussed this, but like I always think a like literature piece / like movie or series, whatever, is always as good as its villain. Yeah. And this made the villain, which was already like in my opinion, the best franchise ever. It made the villain 1,000 times better because it's like way more dynamic, not just good versus evil. I know I like those two, but like,
right.
But I like it to have a reason. It makes it like so much more, him thinking that he's bringing peace. And like the ideas were, these rings will bring peace. If I don't control, basically someone else will. And like, that's his mentality. Basically, my control will bring peace to this land. And he truly believes that. And, it's crazy, but it's like, it makes it so much more complex.
And we're going to get so much more backstory to him in next season.
Right.
That's what they said. Yeah. It was going to be
the Morgott stuff. Cause he was trying to take out Morgott. Like they were not cool entirely with each other. They went at the end. So what happened? There's a lot more.
So he was kind of like Vader's, he was basically the Darth Vader to Morgott's Palpy, right? So
right.
Kind of like,
right.
I serve him, right? But I may not necessarily see eye to eye with some things that are happening, especially, towards when, Luke appears and all that. So
yeah,
it was good. I really enjoyed it, man. I know that, a lot of people and it got review bombed and a lot of people, and, there's a lot of hate videos on YouTube and, you guys can do whatever you want. Right. I think that I enjoyed it quite a bit. Definitely looking forward to watch more on like She-Hulk, where you can just close that book and just let it go and do whatever you need to do next. I am looking forward to to more of this. So we do have some time. Let's talk about Andor.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, just watched it.
This episode was really
fresh
really
impersonation.
Okay.
It's good.
So like the political intrigue and all this thing that's happening, it's so good.
So good.
It's really good. Again, going back to like humanizing, not necessarily villains, right? But bringing that sense of like there's actually, a functioning government happening, right? And bureaucrats and all this stuff that's happening. And you know what? I like it. I like it a lot because it's politics, right? But they make it so interesting with all the intrigue and the backstabbing and all the things that are happening. It just makes it really good. Unlike like episode 1, right, where it says like stars like Star Wars, episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and then you get Texas blockade. And it's like what, it's like what the heck's going on? But this they talk about Texas. It's like we're gonna have systems that are helping.
Yeah, that's this past episode. They're like all the spoiler. I'm like, but whenever they were like, it's like it shows. One thing I like about this is how it's going from like kind of like Lord of the Rings. It's like it's not the Empire's not full on evil. Like they're just like in the process, they're like building those evil things. Mm-hmm. And like they're right now, it's like what a real government would be. And like they're just doing some stuff. And like once you get a little bit, like once you get some control, they're gonna keep going. And they're gonna like once they start patrolling, they're gonna keep that presence. And they were talking about how like they're like, oh, this robbery happened. Like we're gonna tax everyone for whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's
To get the money
showing
back,
where
yeah.
they're starting to turn. Oh, they're already evil,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
like from the top. But it shows
It's
that there's
revealing
some,
itself.
yeah, and it's like it's making how Star Wars was very much good versus evil. It's making it more complex as well, which is showing the progression, which is
Yeah.
awesome to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they not only went to different systems and just wiped out races, right? They also put economic pressure on those systems. And it's great to see that. It was not only like the Empire wasn't not only this massive like military thing that was taking over stuff and then you know mining planets for their resources until the planets basically collapse into themselves. But they also put economic pressure on the people that live there and their governments. So it's like, oh, this is so good. It's so, yeah, man. And the whole intrigue, the whole thing. Mon Mothma, I like the actress is excellent, and I'm so glad that she's still around and she's able to do this. But yeah, man, it's I this show's so good, man.
Oh, it's good.
So I don't want to be the negative Nancy of the group. 'Cause
Oh, Joel, come on.
I really like this show. I want to be clear about that, right? But I have to call things as I see them, right?
Okay.
And as I say, like last week, but you were saying how like you think it's like the best live action, like serious thing. I still think Mandalorian is better. That's just my opinion. But
I can dispute that.
the reason I say with this, some of the things I have, and it might be a little bit mixed of both assumptions and just expectations, and that's something that's very dangerous in Star Wars. When we have assumptions and expectations, that's what ruined movies like The Last Jedi and other things. We thought we figured it out. And it's like Snoke is not Plagueis, and that ruined everything, right?
Yeah.
But like when I think about this, and just correct me, like one of the first things, like the show's called Andor, right? And to me, they've been spending very little time on it, and like that's a problem for me because the time that they do spend on him has been good, but it hasn't been great. And I would have been okay if you would give more time to other things, and then when it comes back to him, it's like these strong moments. This episode actually was one of the episodes that had some of those stronger moments. His dialogue with Bricks, his dialogue with his mother, like that was really strong. And the flashback sequence that he had about his dad, context, right? But even when it comes to that stuff, right? And maybe I was misunderstanding, maybe I'm misreading it, maybe I can admit that, right? But the way I always interpreted for me was like, in Rogue One, the statement is said is that one specific line where he snaps at Jin. And he's like, you don't understand. Like, I've been in this fight since I was 12 or 6 years old or whatever, right? Has he really been in the fight all that time? His life has been around it.
Well, his life's been messed up by the Empire since it was.
Life's been messed up by it, but the whole idea of being in the fight, he's been running away from the fight. In fact, even his own mother is like saying, "I want to be a part of this," and it's not. I would have liked, even if it wasn't necessarily that's like he's a little kid walking around with a gun or something. I'm not saying that, right? I wouldn't condone that. What I am saying is like I would have liked to have seen.
Joel approves of child soldiers.
Yes, Florida. So what I will say is like it does come back to that point of like I would have liked to have seen it like he even as a kid he was looked upon as a rebel against the government after what he saw happen, like specifically with like his father, his adoptive father, right? That horrible tragedy as a powerful sequence that they showed there. But instead we see him more as a guy who's like, I want to just keep my head down, get my money and get out, more like a Han Solo, which is cool. It's not bad, but I just think it's like just that one little thing there. I had an expectation when I'm watching him going, that's a little weird.
You just brought up a great point, Joel.
Yeah.
This should have been Solo.
That's right. No, right. This story would have probably worked better with as a Han Solo thing.
Man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's necessarily bad in that way. I'm just saying like expectations in that. So I want to be clear because I'm not trying to come down on this it's terrible.
I feel like they are trying to mirror Andor, like the character and 100%. Han Solo, because people loved Han Solo so much and that movie flopped so bad. And like it was not what people wanted.
Right. This show is your Han Solo story.
I think what you're saying is like Andor, it probably shouldn't be the title because that's not what they're spending.
No.
But I think a more appropriate title would be like almost like Rise of Power or something. Because like
Rise of the Rebellion.
But because you have the Empire rising and you have the Rebellion rising at the same time. So like, because like when the rebellion's getting stronger. The empire's like, oh, we gotta strike back. We're gonna get stronger.
Yeah.
So like it's like we're seeing two powers kind of rise up at the same time. So it's pretty cool to see.
Like this show is it's going to culminate into like a big political thing, right? Because we know from what we know, like right after Rogue One, the news is like basically that Palpatine dissolved the Senate and he got like absolute power over the galaxy, basically. So it took him 19 years to do that, right? But we'll get to that point. It's like why, like things like gears are moving, right? But it's gonna get to the point where Mon Mothma is gonna do her thing, and things gonna go, and stuff's gonna go down, and Palpatine was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna dissolve the Senate and take control of everything. So
100%.
It's gonna get to that point, and it's gonna be very interesting.
And to talk about the positive, just really fast, like I gotta say, like everything you guys were saying about the Empire stuff, like I've been saying this from the beginning, like of the show, like that's my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah.
My favorite parts is when like I saw a really great meme online where it was saying, people think Star Wars fans like action scene, like going crazy. It's like, no, Star Wars fans are like ISB meetings. Like they love, I love that stuff, and like, it's like, that's the hype for me, bro, because like, it reminds me of like the whole, like heirs to the Empire, like some of the Timothy Zahn, but like it gets really deep. We're getting sweaty here, guys, into the lore, right? Getting all excited. But, like, I love this stuff so much because you're starting to see, like how TJ was saying, they are an organization. This isn't just this cruel, ooh, we're just gonna do something evil to people. Yeah. They have this way of getting people to pull out the worst inside of them because of the formal structure of it, of power. Everyone's trying to cut. You see, right? This lady here, the soldier, right? She's trying to get a promotion over the other guys. She goes around his back to get something that she feels very strong about doing the right thing. Yeah. But everything is like they're conniving at each other. How can I get?
Then her leader was like, they're like, watch your back.
Yeah, watch your back. Because they encourage that. To get each other's throat.
What a great way to introduce and develop a strong female villain without
100%.
Having to take shortcuts, right?
No, 100%.
Because she's smart and she's outsmarting the other guys, and she's like making her way like any other person would, right? Instead of just having, Disney could have made her the major or whatever, whatever the guy with the title is, and she would be pointing fingers and hanging people, and it's like, and now she's crawling her way, and it's great character development for her.
Yeah.
But then this guy, and I don't remember his name. He shows up extremely in like a couple episodes of Rebels. But then this guy walks into this ISB meeting, and he's saying, "Look, I came after we've had meetings with the Emperor himself, saying we're going to give you guys the exact resources you need." Which I was like, name drop, love it, cool. But what a lot of people, the ones that are, we've said on the podcast a lot, if you are not watching Clone Wars, if you're not watching Rebels, you are missing out, because that character, guys, is the same character that shows up that is a part of the council for Thrawn in Rebels. He's in the same room. That's he's playing that exact same character. I would love it if we get a Thrawn moment. I know that the rumors are that the same voice actor that did Thrawn has been cast as Thrawn. You could maybe, that would be great. If we see him on there, but man, we're getting into stuff that it gets me really excited when you get to the lore of it. But yeah, no, I gotta call out the stuff that I'm a little disappointed in, but I will say the things I am enjoying are really good. Yeah. I look forward to more for sure.
Yeah, it's good. Cool. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Glad I watched
Alright,
Andor.
and we are back.
Woo!
All right, guys. It's time for that section. WB, what are you doing? Joel, what's going on with WB this week?
Oh, what isn't going on with WB? Well, there is some good news and there is some bad news. What's going on right now at WB is I sent a pretty extensive article to you, Obed, earlier in the week, and some of it is starting to definitely leak out there. But long story short, let's talk about the bad things first and then the good things. Well, the first things that are pretty bad is that the actor that played the Flash, Ezra Miller. Well, Ezra is right now could be facing up to 26 years if charged with burglary, which things are not looking good. Will that happen? Usually I would say to you, there's not a good chance that this person gets prison time because usually, it's a mistake and then it's a circumstance where, lawyers can figure things out because they can say, hey, this person's not a danger to society. I don't think that's a story with Ezra Miller because we have a person who has literally thrown chairs at people, broken into people's rooms,
Chucked a woman out of Walmart.
Chucked a woman caught in 4K. So that's when things like that happen. Now the person who's pressing the charges, they've got receipts and they say, listen, this person's a danger to society. Throw them to the doghouse. So this could happen in theory. Like, I think a lot of people are downplaying and like, it's going to be fine because we think it's fine. But just because we feel a certain way doesn't add up with actions. And the court of law, I'm not pretending to be a lawyer, but, I will say that, when you have to look at these things don't go by how you feel. They go by how things are. And if there's a sufficient enough evidence to prove from these other times, and there's literally, the cases from Hawaii and the restraining orders and other things, this could go pretty bad. I would not be surprised to see some prison time, maybe not 26 years, but I could see some heavy conviction coming out of this. I know that Ezra's pleading not guilty. So, it's one of those things that we just have to wait and see. I'm not going to say innocent until proven guilty because, like I've said, we have, other times where people don't just get arrested because they did nothing wrong. I mean, I'm sure it does happen, but I'm just saying this is one of those circumstances where, there is a series of unfortunate events before. I would be very cautious on how we tread on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think worse, he's probably going to get his probation with like community service. Honestly, like I don't think it's gonna 26 years for what?
No, I don't think 26.
Burglary? Come on,
right?
It's like
I feel like he'll get I feel like the standard they'll get 1 to 2 years of some kind of luxurious prison. Right. That's kind of the way it goes. I
agree.
For people like that, it'll be maybe 1 year and 30 days,
30
and then
days
probation.
Yeah,
and then he'll be in probation in some.
6
mansion
years or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, this is one of those very odd, but I don't think the worst is going to happen, but I don't think that this is going to also escape.
He's doing a lot.
Individual. Doing a lot of stuff. Now there are rumors, one from a source that I do not trust. I don't need to get into that, but
cosmicbook.com or whatever.
No,
what happened to that? It's still around?
They are.
I haven't heard from them in a while.
Well, it's because, yeah.
Zoned them out.
Yeah, the most accurate news source.
The Mike Zero of comic book news.
Absolutely. but I will say, where there's smoke, there's fire. I say that often, right? And in this circumstance, even when it's a source that I don't trust, even if they're saying, hey, my people are telling me that Warner is looking to recast and they're working on a new sequel, that is unique. There's a sequel ready for a movie that has not even come out. So they must feel very strongly about whatever they're doing with this. We'll see how true that is. This is all in the rumor mill. We do know that Black Adam comes out, officially is out today, right now, tonight. I will be seeing it on Sunday. I already got those tickets locked in. Thank you, Comic-Con, for the free IMAX ticket. And I will tell you guys all about it on next week's episode for sure. But there's plenty of really interesting information that's been coming out from that, including Dwayne.
I saw the end credit.
Say nothing of it.
I'm not gonna watch this movie.
The whole reason I'm going to see it.
Yeah, the whole reason. That's exactly why, right? I saved myself $15 and 2 hours.
It's
That's
okay,
an
Obed.
absolute win.
The Rock and IMAX. You
The
know,
Rock, The Rock. From one thing I've learned about The Rock is, you guys know, I always a huge Rock fan. His movies usually are not good. They're not, but I love them. Like they're not. They usually have. He plays the same character in everything that he plays,
Yeah.
but I love it. Like it's like he does the same. Like it's always the same stuff,
Same
but like
shtick
I
on
still eat it
everything,
up,
yeah.
and everybody else does too. Like it's. I will be going to watch it, and I'll probably enjoy it. But then the story, I'm sure. Well, you guys know. I know you guys are big DC guys, and I'm. Some of the DC movies lately, they've I've been a little disappointed. Batman was very good, but I'm hoping that they'll start to go more with that tone with some of the stuff.
They could.
But I mean, it was super dark. It was a little scarier than what I usually prefer, but it was good though. But I'm not sure really know. I'm not really sure what to expect from Black Adam, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be something.
Yeah.
It'll be good in theater, especially IMAX. That'll be great.
Oh yeah.
It's gotten mixed reviews so far, so I mean,
I saw a really funny meme like when the tomato score was 52%. People were like, oh, it's a DC reference.
oh,
the new 52. No, but yeah, there are some positives though with this, and that is, like I mentioned in the last episode, The Rock did save the Fast and Furious franchise. Can he be the savior of DC? Well, it seems to be that he's a very big advocate for it. He spoke candidly on the red carpet. I don't know if you've seen this clip going around, guys, but he straight up said, look, for 6 years, I brought up every year in one of our meetings that he wanted to bring in Supes, and Superman needed to be in his movie, needs to be in a story, and he said every year we got shut down. And then he literally in the interview said, well, the guys that said no are no longer here, and that's when I finally got the yes. And as I now get to the point of also Walter Hamada, the man that Ray Fisher straight up said needed to apologize in order for him to come back. Guess who's last week at Warner Brothers was?
Last week. Well, I mean,
this week. This week was his last week. Today was his last. Yesterday was his last day.
Yesterday was his last day. Exactly.
Yeah.
I am so glad that this is finally over, because we talked about this on the podcast for years, Joel, that he's got to go.
Well, I said it at Comic-Con. He should have been out there with the fans talking. Yeah. You see Kevin Feige stands up and he's like, guys, this is what we're doing. And then I'm like, where's Walter? Why is The Rock taking full control? But it's interesting because then in interviews now that are coming out, Dwayne is saying, look, I purposely set up this movie to have the Justice Society of America. I didn't want it to be just a Black Adam movie. I wanted it to be a movie that sets up the future of the DC universe and kind of resets it, including bringing back Superman into the mix. And he's actually saying he wants to be a part of, he doesn't want to be the leader of the DC, but he wants to be a consultant going forward for whatever stories that they're going to tell. And I think that's really interesting. If he becomes a producer on future DC projects, that could change things a lot.
Yep. I find it really interesting that they would let him, and I know that he has the box office pull, right?
Exactly.
But does he have the knowledge though? Like why not? Like, to me, right? And I know that he went through a lot of personal crap, right? But Ben Affleck was a really good resource when it comes to probably building this universe. And he was just basically was like, oh, yeah, I mean, we'll bring you in. And is he in? Is he out? Is he coming back? He comes back? And then the thing gets canceled. And then the thing gets delayed. And Flash is probably going to be the next... Skull and Bones. It's gonna be the Skull and Bones of movies.
Oh my gosh, video game reference, great.
It's like it's gonna be delayed for 9 years, and this movie's gonna come out in 2030, and they can't make anything else. So,
but I'm gonna have a gray beard by the time it's done. What's going on? No, but I am optimistic. Like, I know, like you say that, like, oh, what does he have the knowledge? I mean, again, all the movies that he's producing, even like the dumb stuff like Rampage or whatever, like all these movies, Sky
don't you dare bad talk Rampage.
Rampage, like all these crazy movies. Like
San Andreas was
San
Oh,
Andreas.
San Andreas.
All the movies he makes, as much as we laugh about them, they make money.
You know
They
which
do.
I
and I
think-
watch them.
I think the best movie he's done, and I can't remember the name, is the one with the girl. That he's the dad. And he's like a football. He's a no. The little
Oh,
girl,
the game
that's
plan. The game
his
plan.
Oh, that was
the
a
game
good
that's like
movie.
one of
I
my
liked
yeah.
that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
that
that
little
movie.
girl that he's
That was
like
a good
her dad
one.
or something, right?
It was
I
like-
don't
The way you started that was a little
I was
it's
like,
like all of them have a girl, right?
right.
Yeah, the little girl. Yeah,
yeah, that was a good one for sure. That
I think
was
that to me that was probably one of the better ones because it was very heartfelt, right? And it had a lot going on. It didn't rely on the
Yeah.
ridiculous action
Right.
and all that. So I think that probably made the movie a lot better.
I agree.
Fast and the Furious, it was basically a superhero. It was ridiculous,
Yeah.
and it was basically the G.I. Joe character, like the same character he played in that terrible G.I. Joe movie that he was on. Yeah.
I'm hoping
And even that
that
movie made money probably because he was in it.
Black
Yeah.
Adam's gonna bring back the CGI from The Mummy. Was it the end of The Mummy when he comes in?
The Scorpion.
The
King.
Scorpion King.
Scorpion King. He comes in. I'm like, what is that? Like
Oh,
the CGI does not
it's
age
so
well.
bad.
Whenever I see The Rock, I immediately think of Scorpion King.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I think
Oh,
one
man.
movie I was super disappointed because I loved what was it called? Jumanji. I
Mm.
loved
yeah.
his character in Jumanji. I thought that he played him and Kevin Hart played really well. Same
Yeah.
for Central Intelligence. They like kind of
Yep.
played well off each other. He's good as like the
Yep.
serious guy. He needs like a comedic like relief
It's a
beside him.
compliment. Yeah.
Yeah, and they play really well. But I was super excited for Jungle Cruise and being created. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Like they're some of my favorite movies also of all time. And they were by that like production team. And
Yes.
I was like, oh, they're about to kill it. They got The Rock. They got like it was Emily Blunt,
Yes.
I believe. And I was like, okay, they got an all-star cast. You cannot mess this up. And they messed it up somehow.
See,
I don't know how.
I think
But-
it was. I think Jungle Cruise was fun.
Yeah.
By no means it was great, but it was fun.
That's
It
true.
kept me
I mean-
engaged, and yeah, it was.
You do know
It was
it's the
a
same
Disney
director
Plus for
though.
me.
Did you know that the
Is it
same
Jerry
director?
Bruckheimer?
No, the same director of Jungle Cruise, the same director of Black Adam.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
no.
And they mentioned that he mentioned that at Comic Con. He was saying he's like, yeah, we met on Jungle Cruise and we talked about it, and The Rock, $7 Productions brought him in. So yeah.
Oh no.
So,
HBO.
yeah, I mean, DC related, I guess. I mean, we can go and talk about the reviews for Gotham Knights, and oh
Ooh.
boy, let's see where this is sitting right now on Metacritic. Let me refresh.
Let's fact check live on the show. Live show fact checking here, guys.
Um,
Where's Gotham Knights at?
It's really bad. Overall, I mean, I'm trying to look at Metacritic, but for some reason it's got the PS5 version. But overall, like IGN gave it a 5, GameSpot gave it a 4. It's been, I think the highest I've seen is like a 7.5. It's bad. Like this game was also delayed for like a year and a half, and then you go ahead and cancel the last gen versions, and then you come out and it's mediocre, and then the game runs at like 20 FPS on a PS5 on Xbox.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I think it's 30 on PS5 I
Well,
saw, and I was like,
It's 30 what? I'm
strange.
sorry.
30
frames
per
per second.
Oh wow.
on PS5.
And it's
yeah.
only on next gen. It's not on last
Yeah.
gen.
Yeah, but the thing is that on Xbox, on Series X, it was dipping to like 20 frames a second.
Dang.
So weird.
It's weird. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened to this game.
And it's been delayed so long, and they still had that problem.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah,
Gotham
something-
Knights.
Something I had.
Come
I had a
on,
gut-
Gotham Knights.
I had a gut feeling.
Get it together.
I had a gut feeling that this was gonna be a dud. I didn't even bother with
Really?
pre-ordering
Wow.
or, I have the same feeling for the Suicide Squad game that Rocksteady's doing. That's probably gonna get delayed until like 2025.
See, but it's Rocksteady though.
What have
Suicide
Rocksteady
Squad
done other
game
than
could be
Batman?
so much fun. I feel like it has like so much potential, but I feel like they a lot of times just ride the IP and they're like, oh, people will buy this game. Like they don't put the effort into making a solid game sometimes, and like I usually get usually the Marvel games. Sometimes I get super disappointed too,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and like they have so much. I'm like, this could be the greatest game ever created. Like if I could just play as a superhero, this should be the greatest thing ever. Like I want to play the movies, I want to play the comics. Like this is not a difficult concept, and somehow they drop the ball like consistently. I don't know what.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly it is, right? Because it's been the same since like the first Iron Man game on PS3.
Yeah.
It's never been.
I
good.
have that.
Yeah. Other than the
Playing it
Arkham-
after this, actually.
other than the Arkham games, because the Arkham games, even Arkham Knight is excellent.
Yeah,
but
those
then,
were good
Arkham
for sure.
Origins, Arkham Origins, which is the team that made Arkham Origins are responsible for this disaster.
Which is the one game I didn't play.
But
Origins.
at the end of the day, that Origins is not bad. It's buggy. It's buggy as hell, but it's not a bad game. I mean, I played it. I enjoyed it. Right? It's not the same. Right? It's not the same quality, but it's still fine. And I think Arkham Knight was really good. I think the only problem that Arkham Knight had was the over dependence on the Batmobile. It was like too much, and then the boss fights were underwhelming. But other than that, like the moment gameplay on that game was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Unfortunate.
I hope to eventually play, even though it has these reviews. Like the same way I felt about like the Avengers game that came out. It's like one of the things. Like maybe at some point I'll give it a try. It's just not gonna go out and break the bank for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I waited till it went on sale. Once it went on sale,
Right.
I got it and I played it. I had some fun though on it. Like it was, and that's where the show Miss Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Kamala,
really.
yep.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Oh, yeah,
actually,
it's Miss Marvel's like the protagonist in that game. Yeah.
I actually really liked that show a lot. Like that was I was a very unpopular opinion,
Much better than She-Hulk.
Yes, I
watched the
enjoyed
first
it. Like
I've only watched the first episode and I liked it. Yeah.
it was a good show, and like everybody was like, "Oh, that show was bad." I'm like, this is actually some of my favorite, like most refreshing content I've seen. It reminded me of Spider-Man to me.
After She-Hulk, Miss Marvel's like Citizen Kane. It's like it's just
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
It's Attack on Titan.
Yep. It's just it's so good.
Yeah. All right. We rarely get the opportunity to have two funerals for something. They say shadows die twice, but G4 is no more again. So, after the comeback of G4, I believe that was when back in 2020, I think it was like right before the pandemic, right when they started doing content. again
Worst
for
time
YouTube.
to start.
Yeah, actually, it was the best time to start because a lot of creators got restarted and started during
Right.
the
But
pandemic.
probably fiscally was not a good time to be innovative.
Yeah, I agree, but I kind of agree with that. But
Yeah.
it was announced Sunday that they are ceasing operations immediately, and everyone's gone basically, and yeah, they're done for. So, what caused it? I guess the viewership was really low. That's the same thing that happened with the channel when it was on cable. It got to the point where it had like 1,000 viewers or something like that. It got really bad towards the end. Unfortunate, right? These guys were pioneers, right? When it comes to games media and geek culture and making all of the things that we like mainstream. But I just don't know where the ball was dropped. And TJ, you did mention something that I was subscribed to their channel. Honestly, I may have watched 2 or 3 videos in the 2 years that they were on. But you did mention that you used to watch G4 when it was a TV show.
Right. Oh, I loved I like growing up. I thought it was like, this is my favorite. Like it was for me, it was ESPN and G4. Like
Attack of the
X-Play.
Show, X-Play.
Attack of the Show. X-Play was honestly my favorite show on television at one point. Cause like this is before YouTube was like what it is now. Like this is the way I would just see the games that I was gonna be playing. Like they were like, this Christmas, this game's coming out. Like, and they would
Well-
show like They would show all the gameplay.
I'm gonna go a few steps back. I was watching G4 since it was ZDTV, Ziff Davis
Oh,
television,
nice. Yeah.
back in the late '90s, and XPlay was GameSpot TV.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
was GameSpot TV, and then it was changed to Extended Play when ZDTV became Tech TV, and then XPlay when it became D4. So yeah, I again say I'm with you, man. It was like my favorite thing. It was excellent. But you said that you picked in and you saw some of the content that they put out. So and
Yeah.
you I know that
Yeah.
you're in the social media sphere professionally. So what was your opinion of what you saw back then?
Yeah. So I feel like what made them so unique before was like there was like this while it was like comedic, there was also this innocence and stuff. So like it felt like I don't know, it like connected with people and it was like at that time it felt like you were almost like it was like before because before Twitch and stuff, like you felt like you like knew them. Like it was almost like watching this. Like it's like watching this and that's the way I felt watching X Play and stuff. And I
It's
was
like
like, oh,
watching
these are
friends talk about stuff you love.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was like before Twitch was it was kind of that way. And now there wasn't that connection to me. Whenever they would have their shows on Twitch, they would have it on. I watched it on YouTube TV, and I was super excited when they first announced they're coming on G4. And I also don't feel like they capitalized on promoting. I had to tell people that G4 was a thing. Like it was like it had become a thing.
Wow.
They
Oh,
weren't
back- yeah.
capitalizing like now. Like
Oh,
it's
now okay.
like
Yeah.
to people that aren't like directly in this community, like they weren't hitting a lot of the people. I feel like that
Yeah.
they should be on TikTok. Like they should be trying to reach that audience. That's their target audience, a lot of it
Yeah.
now. And they were dropping the ball on that. Like I feel like they had some bad leadership, some bad advice, and they cost them big time. I feel like
Yeah.
they came in thinking like we're experts at what we're doing and we're not going to listen to anybody else. And look what they are now. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
There was also, there was the whole big thing with Frost and that infamous video of her tirade against haters or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that was the moment for me that broke it. I'm nothing against her, right? And I think that some of the points that she was bringing up were 100% valid. And I agree with most of what she said. I think that what she was talking about in that video was very, very important. It was unfortunately not the right platform. Like, you don't, like, this is something that you vent on your personal YouTube channel or on your personal social media. Don't take the show's airtime to vent grievances with your fans, right? And I think that that's the moment that after that they just couldn't recover. And I feel bad, right? Like Adam Sessler, I know, like, Adam Sessler is wild. And I love Adam Sessler.
Yeah.
But we know that he's, struggled with like depression and all these things, and it's like he's been all over the place. And I feel bad for Gerard the completionist because I love Gerard. Gerard's a great guy, and like his content's excellent. So I do feel bad for some of the guys that were there, but unfortunately they shot like what you said, TJ. They shot themselves in the foot, and they dug a hole and they couldn't get out, unfortunately. So
and one thing, like kind of what you're saying, like I feel like they were kind of like more people that just wanted to basically be on TV, and they were less people that were like genuinely. I think G4 should have went after some people that have like true passions for this, and I think they would have connected more with the audience. I feel like if they had people like that, and because whenever I was watching, I'm like, I don't feel like some of these people are even like gamers. I don't think that they're like. I don't know.
yeah,
I think that's where it kind of lost me. I felt like it was a bunch of people that were just like, oh, I'm on TV now. Look at me. Like they're not like, there's no connection there. I don't
Yeah.
feel like we even like the same stuff. Like it's, yeah.
no, I got you. So
It's sad to see it go. I mean, especially that a lot of these people seems to find out from the news story, right? Like a lot of the reactions I was seeing online was like one lady I saw was saying something on the lines of like, I was on a plane going to my grandfather's funeral and I found out like through the Deadline article, hey, I'm not gonna have a job anymore.
Yeah.
That's rough. So I
Yes.
feel really sad for people who lost their jobs because of this, and
Oh, for
I
sure.
hope them that they get back on their feet and they rebound well. But I do think there's lessons to be learned from this, and I think a lot of stuff that TJ laid out is actually true. Like you'll be successful when you're authentic, not when
Right.
you're just trying to catch another click. And you can do only that for so long. I'm sure that they had like us, many people who chimed in, checked in, that know them by their name, right? And just you can't expect to do well just because you have the name G4. People are going to come and just watch. I remember G4 growing up, so I'm going to come
Yeah.
back in and I'm going to watch it just because of that. You got to have something to keep them there, and they didn't have the
Exactly.
staying power. And I feel really sad about that, but it's a lessons to be learned for sure. Authenticity, guys.
Yes. That's what it takes. Like you
Yeah.
gotta, and you have to connect with the people. Like that's
Right.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunate. So we wish them the best, and yeah, I mean, if I know that Gerard's gonna keep making content, his own content, and a lot of the people that were there did their own thing. So I'm sure that there's ways to follow and support if you were a fan. So yeah. All right. So big news yesterday. What has been rumored for a very long time finally got announced. Silent Hill 2 is getting a full remake on PS5 and PC. No date announced. As it was rumored, this remake is being handled by Bloober Team, who did Layers of Fear and The Medium, which was like an Xbox Series X release title, or release window title. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Silent Hill 2 is considered to be one of the best, if not the best, survival horror game ever made. I think it's RE4. I'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, not much to say. Everyone, some of the old guys are back. Like Akira Yamaoka is back doing the soundtrack, and I think Masahiro Ito is back doing some of his work too. So yeah, I'm excited.
Hey, it's a remake. That's important for people to know. Like
Not a remaster.
I think
from a
it's not a
PS2 game.
remaster.
It's a full-on remake. Yeah,
it's a full-on remake, and that's important for people to
Unreal
understand the
Engine
difference
5,
on it.
which is next gen only.
But it keeps the experience for people who want to keep this thing around. It's not my my cup of tea, my friend, but I
Good.
understand. I understand that there's a large community and the impact it's had. So I will keep an eye out with you as well as more develops on it. But yeah, some gameplay coming out there. Interesting.
TJ,
I
this game,
still
this game's
remember-
for you.
Oh, this game. So my cousin and older brother were playing Silent Hill. I believe it was on like PS2 or PlayStation. So the graphics were like killing it too.
Yeah.
I
So
remember
real.
playing it at my grandma. Oh, I wasn't even playing it. I was in the room and we were playing it at my grandma's house. And I was terrified. Like I literally left the room and I just remember being like so scared for like 4 nights. So this game, it was scary with like PlayStation 1 graphics. So I can imagine the next gen and stuff. Worst nightmare. Like I will be avoiding it completely. I don't even want to see trailers for this game because the trailers will scare me too.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
there
cool
was
though.
it was
That's
it was
cool.
a good thing that they actually went yesterday, because today Capcom released a gameplay reveal trailer for the Resident Evil 4 remake, and that looks insane. I am so
Yeah.
excited. It's one of my favorite games ever, like top 3, right? And it's I watched it and I was basically speechless. I was like, wow, this is
The
like,
graphics look
way above.
incredible. I'm looking right now and it looks
Yeah.
like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like it's
It's amazing what can be done now,
totally.
utilizing this tech, and I feel like they've not even tapped into like.
Oh yeah.
There's so much more from Xbox Series X and PS5 that can be done. Like it's
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's more for sure. Last bit of news that I have real quick. The DualSense Edge has a price and release date, January 26th, for a hefty $199.
My gosh.
So, Joel, are you ready?
Um, Sony, if you're watching this, you can gift us for science purposes. We'll give you an address. You can mail it to us, and we'll maybe put some nice words in for you. Now, I'm just messing around, guys. We're not paid by Sony, but
Paid by Sony.
right. Oh my goodness! But no, I mean it's a cool piece of tech. Obed, that's above my price tag. I understand that it's an absolutely valuable piece of tech, and I think it's good that there's an option for people who want to have this next level controller experience. DualSense is already so good, though.
I know, right?
Have you guys ever had one
So
of those really expensive controllers? I don't know what the difference, because like the Xbox has like the Pro Series controller as well,
Yeah.
and I've always wanted to use it, but like I can't afford it. But
It just feels like it's built better. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
I can
I
see
think
that.
that's the main difference, right? It feels like it's actually like it's heavier. It feels hefty, and it just feels like the quality of the buttons and just the overall like case is just better.
I would like that actually.
Yeah. So yeah, USB braided cable, 2 standard caps, 2 high dome caps, 2 low dome caps, 2 half domes, 2 levers for the back, connector housing, and the carrying case included with the $200. So it is a lot of accessories. It is very expensive, but you do get a lot of stuff.
Little Billy's gonna have to work for that one for Christmas.
Yeah, totally. That's what
Get a
we
little
got.
payment plan for that controller.
Yeah, a lot of lawns being cut.
Four payments of 50. Yeah. So, but there you go. So what we got for today, TJ? It's been a pleasure, sir.
It was a pleasure joining. I am the biggest fan of you guys. I look forward to it every week. So now I'm like,
TJ, make our
this is-
intro for those of you guys that don't know. So yeah.
my
Extremely
most
talented.
proud of project I've ever worked on. So I look forward to it, and every time I see it, I'm like,
yeah, man. Thanks for those listening and watching. Go ahead and plug yourself in for any social stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, TJ, tell us where we can find you at.
you can on Instagram. I am Sir Thomas J, and I don't have a Twitch yet, but I'm gonna be hopefully going on to Twitch soon. Stream a
an
little
eye out.
NBA 2K.
Do it.
Maybe play some other games. I'm not very good at other games, but you might catch me on some other games.
There you go.
NBA
Keep an
Jam.
eye out.
There's
NBA
a,
Jam.
There's I guess a fervent rivalry between you and Joel on NBA Jam.
I don't know what I'm gonna. I can't even. Don't get me started on that. Joel.
Let's go, TJ. Let's go.
Joel's got me like 6 games in a row. Like it's
That's good.
crushes
Yeah.
crushes my dreams.
All right, Joel, go ahead and plug us in, man.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again, TJ, for being with us. And thank you everyone for watching or listening to our podcast. This is the moment where I ask you all to, if you would please take time to support us. And the way you can do it, there's the Gandalf staff. Yes. You shall not pass. Love it. Love it. This is the moment where we ask you guys if you would make sure you subscribe to our show. So if you're watching on video right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, share these with others. If you are listening on podcasts or you want to follow us on podcasts, we're on podcast platforms and all the ones you can find us. So Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, Apple. You can find us there. Hit the subscribe button, follow us there, even write a review. That really helps us. We do this as it's a passion project. We do this out of our own hearts. We don't make money from this. We're not cashing Sony checks as we were joking before. So we're not asking you for, or Disney. We're not asking for money. We're just asking you for you to subscribe. That support really helps us out. If you also would make sure you'd follow us on social media. If you're watching the video versions, you see those handles down below at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You also can follow us on Twitch, No Load Time all together. That's where we broadcast these episodes too. And we have done some special gaming streams every now and then. So maybe we'll bring those back as we can. Look out for it, guys. And last but not least, we invite you to send in your comments, questions, or feedback. We'd love to hear from you. You can send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, we'll even discuss what you said on the show on a future episode. Thank you all so much. And we look forward to being with you next week. Obed, we'll be talking Black Adam because I will see it.
Yep. We'll see how that goes. Thank you guys. Thanks, TJ. Don't be a
Thanks, you
stranger.
guys.
And you guys stay safe. We'll see you again next time.